What I'll be taking a look at is the factors affecting remote work at Meta or Facebook, as you may know it. And moving on, let's go to the research aim. So as you know, the research aim is already described in the heading itself. You need to describe the factors which affect the sub-variables, such as wellness, the health, physical or mental, of the employees at Meta. We'll be taking a look at some of the research objectives. This can include, Shabir, please read out one of the objectives.
Yeah?
Conduct research on the relevant studies that apply to remote options here.
There are technology, accessibility, data privacy, content abuse, and fake accounts.
Okay, what do you understand by the content abuse and fake accounts? I've already described by brief.
That could be bullying or content abuse, cyberbullying, and fake accounts would be like a smurf account, basically, where people have multiple accounts and they can do whatever they want to do if other accounts are fake, so they do inappropriate things or whatever, and yeah, so fake accounts.
Okay, so considering this, we described by Cleveland, we have user interface, which considers technology acceptability, data privacy, content abuse, and fake accounts. Well, content abuse and fake accounts are crucial in this manner because this is going to be a major factor when it comes to the efficiency, wellness, life work balance, and employee loyalty first of all. So employee loyalty should not be abused in such a manner as content abuse could basically include the manipulation of the content, meant for the organization. The manipulation of the content that is meant to provide a greater service for the organization in fact. And finally, I guess that's all from my side, so it's the answer.
That the next 5 years is going to be about $100 billion only Meta. Okay, so you see the UAE government also going into Meta. Okay. So when it's going to be VR, so virtual reality, so you already have existing data of Facebook. Okay. So how you graduate the existing data into Meta face? That's the system integration. So how you take the current data and merge with the new data.
Okay.
That's the integration.
So during the process of merging the data or moving or migrating your data from the current platform, whether it be on premises, and then shifting it to on-site, online or the cloud or whichever format, you need to consider that the safety and the proper efficiency when moving that. So when
technical aspects like the specifications will change. They need to have a interface platform which can merge both of them.
Finally, Kaden, can you read out the user interface options here?
There are technology, accessibility, data privacy, content abuse, and fake accounts.
Okay, what do you understand by the content abuse and fake accounts? I've already described by brief.
That could be bullying or content abuse, cyberbullying.
Go back, just explain the system integration. What do you understand by system integration?
System integration can involve stuff like including certain technologies such as including the current technology, modern technology into the current workspace, not just handing back in terms because you need to consider basic stuff like firewalls and protection against malware and the dynamic stuff. So you need to keep this in mind as an organization. Meta has to pay attention to the security measures and stay up to date. So this is where where system integration comes into place, where they need to hire hire people with the relevant skills and use their technological or programming skills to produce the best efforts for their clients and for themselves.
So one aspect you can think of is, see, system integration is basically, why did they name the organization from Facebook to Meta? What's the reason?
Because
to name it Meta.
Because they were diversifying into a greater industry which involved mainly the metaverse, as you know. So the
What is that meta? Basically, metaverse is basically looking at VR, virtual reality. So Mark Zuckerberg is convinced that the next
of the organization at Meta. This is going to be crucial in determining the success and productivity of the employees, the success of the organization as a whole, and we can consider performance-based benefits, but I think many of us have a clear idea of what it indicates, so we can just move on to the next one. Then we have H3 here with the technological factors such as technology availability, security, ease of operation. Well, when it comes to security, you need to consider the data privacy, the data protection, the fake accounts, and different other factors. So, considering a large organization like Meta, they wouldn't just let their security be, they wouldn't leave any lack of room in the security, because it's not just their own organization's information. It is a major social media platform which is going to handle the information of a bunch of people, their locations, and other crucial data. So, security and technology availability. Well, technology availability can consider basic things such as an email or even a Google Meets or Zoom meeting between the higher-ups and their employees, discussing what is essential for the organization, what is essential to protect the spot of the organization in the industry overall.
go back, just explain the system integration. What do you understand by system?
Lack in organization culture. It can also affect the work-life balance, as we know that many employees, they tend to skip their breaks. Normally in a on-site working environment, you have lunch breaks and XYZ. You might have different ways of different schedule. You might have a set schedule, a rigid one. But as compared to remote working, when you take a look at Meta, it has the opportunity for being more productive in a different manner, where they might not actually, the employees might not actually care for their health, but at the same time, it does not result in any emotional exhaustion. So that is one thing you can consider. Then next we have organizational level factors. We have infrastructure investment, organization culture, training and development. Well, as I mentioned earlier, you do require guidance, you do require assistance in such scenarios, and it is the main responsibility of the HR, Human Resources Department, as a method of communication between the employees in a lower position as compared with the bosses or CEOs or whichever individual is at the higher position. And so their policies, their guidelines, the information they produce or put out to the employees of their organization at Meta, this is going to be crucial in determining the success and productivity of the employee from an external point of view, such as the environment, which included government support. We had organizational level factors, which describe the infrastructure effects. And then we also discussed briefly just a bit of information in terms of the technology. User interface, we'll take a better look in depth in just a moment. Moving on, so here in H1 we have the environment, which is going to include government policy, the COVID-19 pandemic, the recession, immigration, and competition. Well, when it comes to remote working, these facilities, we did not have proper rules or regulations in terms of the immigration policies available. This would create issues when you're trying to create a new visa or trying to renew your visa or whichever circumstance you're stuck in. And then we have competition, which can be really positive in a manner because it provides a larger talent pool and it can benefit the organization, and it can provide better services for the other individuals who are looking for a career growth. Then moving on, we have the COVID-19 pandemic and government policy. Well, I described the government policy briefly. And then, so taking a look at the COVID-19 pandemic, this effect it has had on the society basically. Society, and it going more on focus with the effect on whichever position they might be in. Moving on to the organization or the organization support. Now, as an employee, and depend whether you're an intern or whichever position, you do require assistance, you do require guidance, and this is the responsibility of those with the greater experience, those who have spent enough time in such an organization and have enough of an idea regarding these situations. Moving on to the environment, and this is where government support comes in. So the government can't just simply say that you're supposed to go home and work from there. That is not enough. As a form of government support, they are supposed to lay out rules or guidelines which provide flexibility to the employees and workers. And finally, coming to the conceptual model, which is going to evaluate or describe the factors that affect remote working productivity at better. So taking a look at this diagram, here we have H1, H2, H3, and H4. Starting off, we have the environment, and then we move on to the organizational level factors, and then technology, and finally user interface. As you may know, we have already described or taken a look at some of these factors in a brief manner from an external point of view, such as the environment, which includes. Can you read that next one? Okay, and going on, apply the theory to expand on productivity of remote workers, and design an appropriate conceptual model, which has been done with the assistance of Mr. Shankar. That should meet the requirements. And finally, I'll be describing the conceptual model in terms of the factors and their impacts. Starting off, we had to conduct research on the available literature that is available. Considering this, we came to a conclusion with the technology, organization, environment theory, the TOE theory basically, and this takes a look at the different ways in which technology, organization, and environment, these three factors can impact the productivity, the well-being, the health, physical or mental, of these employees at Meta. It can be applied in a general manner or in a specific manner, and it is a model published by Louis G. Tornatsky and Mitchell Fleischer. Taking a look at the technological competence, this is the technology factor. So, as you all know, we have adapted different forms of technology and software or programs, such as it could be Zoom, it could be Google Meet, it could be whichever classroom you intend to use. These different factors, these different sources are available as a method of communication, as a method of collaboration, and as a method of working with your colleagues.